Hi, everybody. Welcome to Raw Talk. I am here today with Kari Ann, the author of PaperClip Trails. And I'm so excited to introduce you guys to her. She's amazing. She wrote this very inspirational book. So thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell me, I read your book. I was totally inspired by it, but what
Thank you.
inspired you to write this book?
Oh, what inspired me to write Paperclip Trails was I was going through it was overall my experiences. I was going through a really challenging time in my life. I was in a place of uncertainty. I was suffering emotionally, and because I was just in a place of uncertainty. I didn't know what to do. And I was just in deep prayer and I asked for guidance. And then right after that, I began to experience what I called at that time was a phenomena of events that started happening to me. And it took me a couple years to understand and put the pieces of the puzzle together that what I was experiencing. It took some time, and then I was almost in awe of what once I acknowledged and what I was experiencing. I was in awe, and I just wanted to talk about it with people. I wanted to talk about it with friends and coworkers and family, and let them know that they too can experience what I experienced as well. And
Right.
so I wanted to reach more people outside of just my circle. And then from there, I have to write a book. I want to share it with more people. And so that's how Paperclip evolved into fruition.
Gosh, that's amazing. And so you started seeing paper clips. That's kind of what started happening, right? Like
Yes.
they say that spirit shows up and angels show up in so many different forms and shapes and things of that nature, but you started seeing paper clips.
So yeah, so signs can come in the form of butterflies, symbols, repeating numbers, and a lot of people have different symbols, whether it's dimes, coins, like I said, butterflies, birds, and such, or animals. But for me, it was a paperclip. Yes, I mine began with a paperclip, and I took notice of it. I acknowledged it and was like, it's a paperclip, and then um, I began to find more paper clips, and I was like, okay, I know this means something. And so I began to pay attention. And so, yeah, and these paper clips just guided me through my journey through this challenging time in my life. And it's almost like they were placed in particular places for me to find. Um, when I needed this guidance, and it was just letting me know that I was on the right path.
Right.
It just leaving, like, it's almost like leaving leaving breadcrumbs. It was pretty amazing.
Wow, that's super cool. And usually for me it's like a black and white butterfly.
Hmm.
Or sometimes when I'm walking my dog, it can be like a white rock, like all the rocks in Arizona, right? I'll always stop and see this white rock. And the fact that you listened to these little signs, because the signs are so subtle. Sometimes we can feel so alone in what we're going through. And we get so caught up in the phones and just all the fastness that it's really difficult to slow down enough to even listen to the
Yes.
signs. So was it natural for you to just slow down? Were you in a space of just going fast? Like, did you already have an awareness of kind of slowing down and angels and that kind of thing before
I've
you started seeing these paper clips?
Well, I've always believed in signs. I've always had the awareness. It's I was in deep prayer, and like I said, I was in deep prayer, and I just needed some clarification. I needed some answers. So it was just really paying attention and understanding, like, okay, this means something. And then I would ask, the universe, please, you know, let me know what this meaning is. And it all just kind of flowed into like all these other different signs, and I was just paying attention. I've always believed in signs, and the older I became, it became so much stronger for me.
Mhm.
And you really have to be open to it. That's the huge thing, is just being open to it and believing and really paying attention. Because if you feel that it is a sign, then it's a sign. You don't have to question it. You don't have, that's your ego saying, oh, no, it's probably just a coincidence, when really it's synchronicity. And so there's so many ways that the universe conspires to bring you these messages, because we're not alone, and we are being guided through our entire lifetime by this spiritual team that wants to help us. They love us and guide us. And it's just really important to understand that.
Mm-hmm. And, I think in the last couple of years since 2020, people have gotten so disconnected and depressed and feeling alone and really probably mad at God. And, we've all gone through those little moments where you just kind of wonder, what is your plan? What are you doing? You know what I mean? And sometimes you lose your faith and you get mad at God and you feel like nobody's looking after you and there are no signs for you. What would you say to people that are in that space right now and stuck and really need some help? Like they've lost their faith, and they need some restored faith. What would you say to those people?
I would say just to continue and pray, because that happened for me. And I speak about that in my book. I was angry with God. It was in 2003. I was very, very angry with God. And I disconnected. I felt betrayed by God, and I disconnected, and I really didn't want anything to do with anything that I thought that could help me. And we think that we are just here to do it on our own, when we really have to stay in faith. And for me, I would just say continue to pray and ask for a sign. And you can ask for a specific sign, and that's what I did. And I speak about that in my book.
Mm-hmm.
And my book, PaperClip Trails. I don't know if I showed anyone.
Oh, yes. Thank you for showing it.
PaperClip Trails. And I explain that in my book, is really stay in prayer and ask for a specific sign.
Right.
And it will be shown to you.
Right. And sometimes for me, I kind of like need the bat, right? So I'm like, okay, God, I need a sign, but then I gotta be like, okay, let me be more specific of what I need. I need you to make
Yes.
it loud enough or big enough that I can see it, I can hear it, that I know it's you. You know what I mean? I have to really be specific when I'm asking for some help.
And that's okay.
Right.
Because yes, because in my book, I talk about, I asked for a specific sign.
Mhm.
In my book, I asked for a monarch butterfly, and it wasn't really during season for butterflies. And I specifically asked for a monarch butterfly. I did not see it until I asked for it, and I also specifically asked to receive it by a particular date.
Mm.
And I wasn't receiving it, and it literally was 12 hours before this deadline that I was going forward with, that this monarch butterfly appeared to me right in front of my face.
Wow. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this book is, I read this book in 3 hours on a Sunday, and I sent you a text. I'm like, okay, I'm done. You're like, what? This is a cool book, you guys, because it's an easy read. It's really profound. I mean, she puts so much deep content in such a short, sweet little book. I mean, it's an easy read. It's very profound. And if you're looking for a little boost in your faith again, a little boost in, what the hell are we doing here for? And why are we here? And is there really, anything guiding us? This is a great book to restore your faith, and give you a little boost that maybe you're looking for. So, thank you so much, Kari Ann, for being with us. How do people find you?
People can find me. I have an Instagram account, PaperClip Trails.
Okay.
And then my book can be found on Amazon.com.
Okay. So Amazon. And then is it in Barnes and Noble? Because that's where I met you.
But yes, it's at the Chandler Barnes and Noble at the Chandler Mall, at the Fashion Chandler Mall. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, cool. So I'll put in our chat your Instagram handle and whatever information that you would like me to send to the viewers so you guys can get in touch with Kari Ann. But yeah, you know what? Her book is it's really sweet. And if you're looking for just a little boost and really have lost your faith, it's a great starting place just to make you smile again. And she's a beautiful human being. I've met her and got a signed copy of her book that I cannot find. I'm so embarrassed I can't find
That's
it.
okay.
I read it in like 2 hours.
It's really easy read. I explain synchronicity in the most simplistic way. And it's an easy read. It's about 110 pages.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because that is my sign, right? I can't find your book, which is I guess the lesson in the irony of that is I have your book in my head. I don't
Right.
I know I remember all the little pieces in your book that was like aha, all these little aha
Right.
I had from the book, and just moving forward and taking that, all of those little things that you gave me are in my head, and I always remember moving forward that I don't want to give away your book, but some of the really
Yeah.
cool pieces in that book. So
Yes, and I'm sorry.
go ahead. Yeah.
There's so much more than just the significance of paper clips as well. Like I explain so much more in so many different ways of how I got through this challenging time in my life. So it's definitely more than just paper clips. And I think it would be really awakening for a lot of people. I also speak about connecting with my deceased father,
Mm-hmm.
and how that is available for all of us as well. So there's a lot more than just paper clips, but it's definitely bringing awareness to what is available for everyone, not just for myself. But it was life changing. It was life changing for me.
That's great. And today you're living your best life.
Yes, and it just continues. Synchronicity continues, and life is unfolding beautifully.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Kari Ann, for spending.
Thank you, Raquel. I appreciate it so much.
You bet. Well, you guys, I hope you look her up. I'll give you all of her information. This will be on my website. It'll be on my YouTube, and everywhere else that I travel into social media world. So have a great day, and thank you so much, Kari Ann.
Thank you. You as well.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.